For real, know what to feel, hurt, broke, mad, anger. It's a lot.
Made contact with a 17-year-old male juvenile who had stated he had just found his mother in a state of distress and that she needed help. Our deputies immediately went inside. What we determined was that individual was in fact deceased at that time. Through the course of the investigation, this investigative team worked diligently, day in and day out, to bring justice to this family for this tragic incident. So what we determined is that the individual, Miss Rhonda Hairston Lockett, was in fact deceased from a single gunshot wound. Through the course of that investigation, they spent Saturday and Sunday collecting physical evidence, forensic evidence, and conducting witness interviews. As a result of that, we determined that Joseph Chad Lockett was responsible for her death. At such time, we charged him with first-degree murder. We currently have an outstanding first-degree murder warrant on him. We are looking for his whereabouts, so anyone who may know where he's at, please contact 911.
The sheriff's office now naming Joseph Lockett as a suspect in the deadly shooting of Rhonda Lockett.
Now, Joseph is her estranged husband.
Now, the sheriff's office says Joseph Lockett is wanted for first-degree murder. He should be considered armed and dangerous. Deputies do not believe he has a way to travel far.
They also say anyone found to be helping Lockett may be charged with accessory after the fact.
In Ridgeway, Virginia, a quiet town where neighbors still wave from their porches, peace shattered one October afternoon. A teenage boy called for help, saying his mother wasn't moving. What deputies found inside that modest brick home on Garrett Road would haunt Henry County for years. Rhonda Hairston Lockett, 39, mother of 2, gone. To everyone who knew her, Rhonda was love in motion, hardworking, protective, patient. She dreamed of nursing, lived for her sons Omar and Xavier, and held tight to faith and family. But behind the warm smiles was a story no one saw coming, a love that turned into control, jealousy, and finally, death. 4 years earlier, Rhonda had said, "I do," to Joseph Chad Lockett, believing she'd found her forever. They honeymooned in Las Vegas, laughing in the desert sun. But something in Joseph began to change. 1 week after Rhonda decided to leave, he came back, with a gun. Her brother Casey would later write, "My heart is crushed and broken over and over again. Justice will be served one way or another." This is the story of a woman who tried to walk away, and the man who couldn't let her live in peace. This is the murder of Rhonda Lockett. If you're into real true crime, stories that dig deep into the facts, the people, and the shocking truths behind every case, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support. Now let's get back to the story. Rhonda Hairston Lockett's life began in the small city of Martinsville, Virginia, on April 3, 1986. She was born to Linda Alorn and the late Lorenzo Jerome Hairston, Sr. Growing up in a close-knit family that valued faith, hard work, and laughter, Sundays were for Antioch Christian Church, where Rhonda sang in the choir and found joy in music that seemed to pour straight from her soul. That voice, that warmth, and that easy laugh made her unforgettable. A 2004 graduate of Magna Vista High School, Rhonda was the kind of student remembered for kindness more than grades. The friend who encouraged others and made bad days lighter. After graduation, she took the steady road working to build a reliable life for her children and her future. By May 16, 2020, she had joined Drake Extrusion, Inc., where she became known as dependable and upbeat, the co-worker who'd dance during breaks or share a quick laugh over a TikTok clip. She loved music, laughter, and faith, but most of all, she loved her family. Rhonda was a devoted mother to her 2 sons, Omar and Xavier. Every decision she made centered around them, their schools, their sports, their dreams. Her sister Desania and brother Casey often said that Rhonda was the glue that kept everyone connected after their father died in October 2022. They had already lost an older brother years earlier, and that pain never truly faded. Still, Rhonda kept smiling, determined to be a source of strength for her family. She was the one who called every day, who remembered birthdays, who never let love go unspoken. To those around her, Rhonda appeared to have finally found balance, a stable job, a loving home, and the promise of new beginnings. That promise seemed to take shape on April 26, 2021, when she married Joseph Chad Lockett, a man from nearby Figsboro, Virginia. The wedding was intimate, filled with laughter and optimism. They sealed their vows beneath the spring sun and soon after flew to Las Vegas for their honeymoon. Photos from that trip showed nothing but happiness. Two people smiling wide, caught up in the belief that love could conquer anything. In the months and early years that followed, life looked good from the outside. Friends described them as a normal couple, quiet, hardworking, private. Rhonda posted little glimpses of their life online: dinners, church events, family outings. There were no public fights, no obvious warning signs. In Ridgeway, where gossip travels faster than weather reports, no one saw the storm that was building. But behind closed doors, the foundation began to crack. What started as small disagreements slowly turned into tension. Rhonda couldn't ignore. Family members noticed her growing quiet about her marriage, deflecting questions with smiles that didn't quite reach her eyes. Those close to her sensed that control and jealousy had started to replace affection. Joseph's moods could swing, and his words, once tender, became sharp. Rhonda, who had spent her life caring for others, found herself trying to manage someone she could no longer understand. Her brother, Casey, would later reveal that she made the hardest and most courageous choice of her life just 1 week before her death. She decided to leave him. After years of trying to make it work, she wanted peace. She had begun to talk about starting fresh, focusing on her children and her future without the weight of a failing marriage. She was tired of tension, tired of walking on eggshells, tired of believing love should hurt. It was a decision that carried quiet bravery. Those who loved her knew she was doing it not out of anger, but out of hope. She had already endured the loss of her father, and her family couldn't bear to see her lose herself too. Rhonda wanted to be free, to rediscover the laughter that once filled her life and the music that used to lift her spirit. That step toward freedom would be the one that cost her everything. On a quiet Saturday afternoon in Ridgeway, Virginia, around 12:15 p.m. on October 18, 2025, deputies from the Henry County Sheriff's Office were dispatched to 11159 Garrett Road after receiving a call from a boy about her. When they arrived, a teenage boy, Rhonda's son, met them outside. His voice trembled as he said his mother needed help. Inside the home, officers stepped through a space that still carried traces of ordinary life: folded laundry, a half-drunk cup of coffee, the faint scent of her favorite candles. But in the back bedroom, they found Rhonda Hairston Lockett lifeless. The scene told its own story. A single gunshot, no signs of forced entry, and no struggle strong enough to mask the intimacy of the crime. Within hours, detectives identified the prime suspect, Joseph Chad Lockett, Rhonda's arranged husband from nearby Figsboro, Virginia. Sheriff's deputies responding to a welfare check on Saturday found a woman dead in a home south of the Ridgeway area, and they've identified the victim as Rhonda Lockett. Investigators say the victim's estranged husband, Joseph Lockett, is a suspect he's wanted for first-degree murder. Deputies say he should be considered armed and dangerous. The man who had once held her hand at an altar was now accused of pulling the trigger. Authorities quickly classified the case as homicide and launched a county-wide alert, warning residents that Joseph was armed and dangerous. By nightfall, the story began to spread online. Family and friends flooded social media with disbelief, sorrow, and rage. Among them was Rhonda's brother, Casey Alhorn, who posted words that captured the heartbreak of an entire family. "My damn heart is crushed and broken over and over again. God knows I'd rather be in prison. My little sister Rhonda Lockett was a pure piece of love, and never did I question you. Damn it, I don't know what to feel. Thank you for always having my back and being there for me from day one. I love you forever. See you later, beautiful. Justice will be served one way or another." Damn. His grief echoed through Ridgeway, a small community stunned by the sudden loss of a woman everyone described as sunshine in human form. While the family reeled, investigators fanned out across Henry County and neighboring Martinsville. Tips came in from the public. Sightings were reported. Law enforcement agencies joined forces tracing phone pings, surveillance footage, and vehicle movements. 2 days later on Monday, October 20th, 2025, around 5:45 p.m., authorities located Joseph Lockett at 225 Niblet Drive in Martinsville. A brief standoff followed before he surrendered without further violence. Sheriff Wayne Davis announced the arrest publicly, crediting the teamwork and persistence of investigators who worked tirelessly to bring this case to closure. Joseph Lockett was charged with first-degree murder, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. His capture brought a measure of relief, but not peace. For Rhonda's family, the nightmare had only begun. In the days that followed, Henry County mourned one of its own. At Drake Extrusion Incorporated, co-workers set up a memorial at her workstation. Flowers, photos, handwritten notes. At home, friends gathered around her mother, Linda Alorn, trying to offer comfort words could not deliver. On October 25, 2025, the community released balloons into the sky, each carrying a prayer for Rhonda. Rhonda Hairston was just 39, a mother to 2 boys, Marty and Z. Her brother, Casey Elhorn, says she was driven, bubbly, and studying to become a nurse. She was an awesome mother. She was a go-getter. She was on a mission, and she took care of boys. She loved her boys. She put her life on the line for her boys. Police say it was one of those sons who found her shot and killed in her bedroom. My nephew found her in the bed checking on them cold. The Henry County Sheriff's Office says her arranged husband, Joseph Lockett, pulled the trigger. He was on the run for 2 days before surrendering to authorities at a home on Niblet Drive Monday. Just a week earlier, Alorn says Rhonda made the decision to finally leave him for good.
Beautiful, beautiful person, man. And she was just on a mission, man. Her life got cut short, man, by a miserable, soft coward.
Deputies have not released a motive, but her brother believes Lockett was not happy that she cut things off. Now he's trying to stay strong for his family. Stuck right now for real, just stuck and empty. But I'ma keep going though for her, for my nephews, for my mom or my little sister as much as I can, man.
Lockett is being charged with first-degree murder, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He is set to be arraigned tomorrow morning in Henry County General District Court.
The next day, October 26th, her memorial service was held. A sanctuary filled with hymns, tears, and the ache of what should have been a lifetime. After the service, Casey posted again, this time not in rage, but in faith. Heavenly Father, in Jesus' precious name, I come before you with a heavy heart. Lord, I ask for your comfort and strength as I grieve the loss of my beloved sister, Rhonda Hairston. Father, you know the pain and emptiness that loss brings, and I ask that you wrap me in your loving arms and give me peace that surpasses all understanding. Teach me, Lord, to keep moving forward with faith, honoring her memory through love, compassion, and purpose in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. The post reflected the family's shift from fury to faith, an acknowledgement that while justice was in motion, healing would take far longer. They had already lost their father in October 2022. Losing Rhonda exactly 3 years later reopened wounds that had barely closed. The sheriff's office later confirmed that Rhonda died from a single gunshot wound, consistent with a close-range attack. There was no evidence of robbery, no forced entry, nothing to suggest anyone but someone she knew, someone she trusted. The weapon recovered linked directly to Joseph Lockett, who, as a convicted felon, was already barred from owning or possessing a firearm. Authorities believe the motive stemmed from control and jealousy. Rhonda's decision to leave him came only a week before her death. Investigators concluded that Joseph's rage grew as she pulled away, and when she refused reconciliation, it turned deadly. Under Virginia law, first-degree murder is defined as an intentional, premeditated killing. The accompanying firearm charges added weight to the prosecution's case, ensuring a long prison sentence if convicted. Rhonda's story mirrors a tragedy playing out in homes across America. Leaving an abusive or controlling partner is statistically the most dangerous moment for victims of domestic violence. Joseph Lockett now sits behind bars awaiting trial. His legal process will move through arraignment, preliminary hearings, and eventual trial, a journey that could take months, even years. Beyond the case files and courtroom schedules is a woman who once dreamed of becoming a nurse, who found laughter in church halls and love in the faces of her sons. Rhonda Hairston Lockett was not just a victim. She was a mother who worked double shifts to give her boys stability, a sister who texted encouragement every morning, and a daughter who filled her home with warmth after loss. Her sister Desanea, her brother Casey, and her sons Omare and Xavian now carry her memory forward. They speak her name in present tense, not was, but is. Friends remember how she would dance through the aisles at work, or how she sang louder than anyone in the choir when the song was her favorite. Rest in peace, Rhonda Hairston Lockett. May your light guide those still searching for the courage to step into freedom, and may your memory move the world a little closer to safety, compassion, and justice. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel Viral Crime Stories, and turn on notifications. We upload new true crime content daily, covering cases you know and many you don't. Stick with us as we bring you more stories that deserve to be heard. See you in the next. Much love and peace.